Hey there, it's Anna. Have you ever found yourself puzzled over why your interactions with women don't seem to go as planned? Well, today we're diving deep into those little habits that might be sabotaging your efforts without you even realizing it. These are common mistakes, yes, but the good news, they are incredibly easy to fix. I'm not just pointing out what you're doing wrong, I'm providing clear, actionable advice on how to turn it all around. By the end of this video, you will be armed with the knowledge to make those small but powerful changes that could dramatically improve how women perceive you. Ready to get started and transform your approach? Let's jump right in. Overuse of sarcasm. Alright, let's tackle a habit that might seem harmless but can actually be a major turn-off for the ladies. The overuse of sarcasm. Now don't get me wrong, a well-timed witty quip can be a great way to show off your sense of humour and keep things playful. But when sarcasm becomes your default mode of communication, that's when things can start to go south. See, the thing about sarcasm is that it's often used as a defense mechanism, a way to keep people at arm's length and avoid vulnerability. And while that might feel safe and comfortable for you, it can actually create a sense of distance and disconnection with the woman you are trying to woo. Think about it. When every other sentence out of your mouth is a sarcastic jab, it's hard for her to know when you're being genuine. She might start to wonder if you're really interested in her or if you're just using humor as a way to keep her at bay. Plus, constant sarcasm can come across as pessimistic or even mean-spirited, like you're always looking for the negative in every situation. And let's be real, no one wants to date someone like that. So how can you fix this habit and show her that you are capable of real authentic connection? Start by being more mindful of your use of sarcasm. Are you using it as a crutch, or are you genuinely trying to make her laugh and keep things light? When you do use sarcasm, make sure it's not at her expense or in a way that could be hurtful, and balance it out with plenty of sincere, heartfelt communication. Let her know that you are capable of being serious and emotionally present when it counts. Remember, gentlemen, a little bit of sarcasm can be a great spice in the conversational dish, but when it's the only flavour on the menu, that's when things start to taste a little bitter. So use it sparingly and make sure you are seasoning your interactions with plenty of genuine connection and vulnerability. Your love life will thank you for it. Upmanship. Okay, let's dive into a habit that's a surefire way to make a woman's eyes glaze over faster than a day-old donut. Upmanship. You know what I'm talking about. That constant need to outdo her stories, her achievements, her experiences. It's like you are in a never-ending game of anything you can do, I can do better. And spoiler alert, no one wins. Here's the thing. When you are always trying to one-up her, it sends a pretty clear message that you're not really interested in her as a person. You are more focused on proving your own worth as showing her how impressive and accomplished you are. But here's the kicker. By constantly trying to outshine her, you are actually doing the exact opposite. You are coming across as insecure, like you don't believe your own experiences and successes are enough to stand on their own. Plus, it's just plain exhausting for her. She wants to share her stories and her triumphs with you, but every time she does, you jump in with a bigger, better version of your own. It's like you're stealing her thunder, and trust me, that's not a good look. So how can you break this habit and start showing her that you are genuinely interested in her world? Start by practicing active listening. When she's sharing something with you, resist the urge to jump in with your own anecdote. Instead, ask her questions, show curiosity about her experiences, and when it is your turn to share, don't feel like you have to top her story. Just be honest and authentic about your own life and accomplishments. Trust that they are impressive and interesting in their own right. You don't need to compare them to anyone else's. Frequent phone check-in. Let's talk about a modern day dating pitfall that's all too easy to fall into, the dreaded frequent phone checking. Picture this, you are out on a date with a gorgeous woman, the conversation is flowing, the chemistry is sizzling, but then every few minutes you find yourself reaching for your phone, checking notifications, scrolling through social media. Sound familiar? Here's the thing, when you are constantly checking your phone during a date or conversation, you're sending a pretty clear signal that she's not your top priority. It's like you're saying, hold that thought, babe, I just need to see if anyone more interesting has texted me in the last 5 minutes. And trust me, that's not a message any woman wants to receive. She wants to feel like she has your full attention, like you are present and engaged in the moment with her. When you are always glancing at your screen, it's like you're only half there, like you're just biding your time until someone better comes along. Plus, it's just plain rude. Imagine if you were pouring your heart out to someone, sharing a story that's really important to you, and they just kept glancing glancing at their phone mid-conversation. It's a surefire way to make someone feel unimportant and disrespected. So how can you break this habit and show her that she has your undivided attention? Start by putting your phone away when you are with her. And I don't mean just face down on the table, I mean out of sight, out of mind. If you are expecting an important call or message, let her know ahead of time, but otherwise, give her the gift of your full presence. And if you do find yourself reaching for your phone out of habit, catch yourself and put it back. Make eye contact, ask her a question, show her that she's the most interesting thing in the room. Remember, in a world where we are all constantly bombarded with distractions and notifications, giving someone your undivided attention is a rare and precious gift. So put down the phone and start showing her that she's the only notification you need. Your connection will be all the stronger for it. Bragging. Fellas, let's talk about a habit that might seem like a good idea in the moment, but can actually be a major turn-off for the ladies. Bragging. Now, I get it. When you're trying to impress a woman, it's natural to want to put your best foot forward, to highlight your accomplishments and successes. But here's the thing. There's a fine line between confident self-promotion and straight-up bragging, and crossing that line can be a one-way ticket to turn-off Phil. See, when you are constantly talking yourself up, always finding ways to insert your own achievements into the conversation, it starts to come off as insecurity. It's like you don't trust that your own merits will speak for themselves, so you have to keep reminding her just how great you are. And let's be real, no one likes to show off. It's exhausting to be around someone who's always trying to prove how much better they are than anyone else. Plus, it's harder for her to get a word in edgeways when you're always steering the conversation back to your own awesomeness. So how can you break this habit and start showing her your confident, authentic self? Start by practicing a little humility. When you do share your successes, do it in a way that's matter of fact, not boastful. And make sure you are also showing interest in her achievements and experiences. It's not all about you after all. And if you catch yourself starting to brag or one-up her, take a step back and ask yourself why. Are you feeling insecure in the moments? Are you trying to compensate for something? Once you identify the root of the behavior, it's easier to find healthier ways to address it. True confidence doesn't need to shout from the rooftops. It's quiet, self-assured, and more interested in lifting others up than tearing them down. So put away the brag book and start showing her the real, humble, amazing you. She'll be way more impressed by that than any list of accomplishments. Unreliability. Okay, gentlemen, let's dive into a habit that can be a major red flag for women. Unreliability. I'm talking about the guy who's always running late, always cancelling plans last minute, always making promises he can't keep. And I know what you might be thinking, but I'm just a free spirit, I go with flow. But here's the thing, when you are consistently flaky and undependable, it sends a pretty clear message to the woman in your life she can't count on you. And trust me, that's not a message any woman wants to hear. When she makes plans with you, she wants to know that you'll show up, that you'll be there when you say you will. When you make a promise to her, she wants to believe that you'll follow through. But when you are always changing the game plan or leaving her hanging, it starts to erode that trust. She starts to wonder if you are really invested in the relationship, if you're really willing to make her a priority. Plus, it's just plain frustrating. No one likes to be kept waiting or have their time wasted by someone who can't stick to a plan. It's disrespectful and inconsiderate, plain and simple. So how can you break this habit and start showing her that you're a man of your word? Start by being realistic about your commitments. Don't overextend yourself or make promises that you can't keep. It's better to underpromise and overdeliver than the other way round. And when you do make a plan or a promise, stick to it. Show up on time, follow through, and communicate openly and honestly if something comes up that might interfere. Remember, reliability might not be the sexiest trait on the surface, but it's absolutely essential for building trust and intimacy in a relationship. So start showing her that she can count on you no matter what. Your connection will be all the more stronger for it. Poor listening skills. Alright, let's talk about a habit that can be a real conversation killer: poor listening skills. I'm talking about the guy who's always waiting for his turn to talk, who's mentally crafting his response before the other person has even finished speaking. The guy who's more interested in being heard than in hearing. And let me tell you, when it comes to building a genuine connection with a woman, that kind of one-sided conversation is a major turn-off. See, when you're not actively listening to her, when you're not fully present and engaged in the conversation, it sends a pretty clear message that you're not really interested in her thoughts and feelings. It's like you're just waiting for your chance to swoop in with your own anecdotes and opinions, rather than truly taking in what she has to say. And trust me, women can pick up on that kind of disinterest from a mile away. It's like a sixth sense. They can tell when you are just nodding along when your mind is somewhere else entirely. But here's the thing, active listening isn't just about being polite or making her feel heard, although those are certainly important. It's also about creating a sense of intimacy and connection. When you're fully present in the conversation, when you are asking thoughtful questions and showing genuine curiosity about her world, it's like you're creating a little bubble of shared understanding and empathy. So how can you have these listening skills and show her that you're truly invested in what she has to say? Start by practicing mindfulness in your conversations. Put away distractions, make eye contact, and really focus on taking in her words. And don't be afraid to ask follow-up questions or reflect back what you've heard. Show her that you're not just passively absorbing information, but actively engaging with her thoughts and experiences. The art of conversation isn't just about being a great talker, it's about being a great listener too. So start tuning into what she's really saying and watch as your connection grows deeper and more meaningful. Trust me, she'll notice the difference and she'll love you all the more for it. So now that you know what habits to avoid, what's next for you? Discover the signs that women think you're good looking or learn how to tell if she's sexually attracted to you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.